makers, and welcome back to Making with Ms. Dobras. All right, it's the last week of October, and it's a fun week because there's lots of fun holidays, Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, and Halloween. And even if you don't celebrate those holidays, there's a lot of fun art that goes along with that that most people can have fun with. And there's lots of skull art. You may have drawn a sugar skull from last week from my class, and if you were in my class in real life, we'd probably be making some little movable skeletons or maybe a Dia de los Muertos mask. So we're going to do origami this week, and we're going to focus on a spooky theme. Today we're going to learn how to make origami ghosts and origami skulls. And all you need is paper. White paper works, but any color works, and you need a marker. So let's get to it. So today, all you need is really white paper. If you have origami paper, that is great, and you can do all these origami designs in origami paper in different colors. And if you don't have white paper, you can do it in any color paper you want. So first things first, we have to make our rectangular paper into a square. All right, I'm hoping by now that you're getting pretty good at turning a rectangle into a square. You don't need fancy origami paper to do origami. You just need square paper. So you take this corner and you go all the way to the end. Before you press it down, you want to make sure you have a point over here. So you kind of have to adjust it often. And then you see how I'm just slowly working out that fold. Now in my class, I have a rule that you can't crumple up your paper if you mess up. It's just paper. You can just refold it. So getting back to this, we have to cut this little strip off the end. And of course, I don't like to throw these away. You can use it as a bookmark or you can save it for another art project. But here we have our square paper. And our first fold for the ghost, we have to take our square and turn it into a diamond, okay? So we just turn it, we rotate it. So the points are up top and down below. And then we're going to take this point and we're going to fold it all the way over in half. That's a diagonal fold in half. And then we're going to open it back up. A lot of origami, you make a fold and then you open it back up. And I just want to show you, I made a line on the crease right here, on this one, just so you could see that when you folded it over, you made this crease. And it's important that you see that crease for the next fold because we're going to do an ice cream fold, which if you've been in my class, you've done this before, but you take this long edge and you're going to take the long edge and go to this middle line, all right? And you want a point down here. So I'm going slow and I'm adjusting because I want to make a nice point right there. Now I drew the line on just so you can see it, but you don't have to draw the line on. And then you do it on the other side. This long edge is going to go to the middle. And this one might be a little easier because you're going to meet up with the other place, with the other piece of paper. And just like a normal ice cream cone or a sugar cone, it's going to be pointed at the bottom. So this is what we call the ice cream fold. All right, now I don't recommend drawing lines on your origami because then that's in your origami. So I'm going to go back to this one. I'm going to do a quick ice cream fold. All right, so there we have our ice cream fold. Okay, next step is we want to make the arms of the ghost. In this case, the origami ghost has arms. So we're going to pull this over till it gets to about a 90-degree angle. Now, I've always told you there's a lot of math and shapes and angles in origami. When I say a 90-degree angle, I mean this angle right here. That is like the corner of a square, and that's a 90-degree angle. And then whatever you do on this side, you usually do the same thing on the other side. A lot of origami is symmetrical. You do one fold on the one side, and then you do the same fold on the other side. Now, that's not always the case, but in this case, we have to do one on each side. All right, and then you can adjust these. If you don't like how it looks or you want to do it a little different, you can do that. I'm going to make them a little. All right. Okay, now we're going to take this and we're going to flip it over. And we have these little edges on the side, and we're going to fold those tabs in. And we're going to fold them tight right along there. We want them to match up. We just want to fold them right in, okay? Okay, when we're done with that, we're going to flip it over and we're going to rotate it so that the pointy cone part is facing us. And then we're going to fold that part down right there on the corners, right into the middle. Okay, so right here, when you fold this down, you want to line up those center lines. You don't want it to be over to the side. And how you know where to fold it down is right at the ends of that last fold you did on those corners. So you want to fold it right down there. Okay. And then we're going to fold this back up. And we're just going to fold it up with a little crease in it. So I'm going to show you the side view of that. You see how I have just like a little... That's not even a ½ inch. So we took it like this and we just folded a little crease right there. Okay. And then we're going to take this point. This is going to be our ghost head, and we're going to make it so it's not pointy. So we're going to fold down that, not too much, just about 1 inch. Okay. Now, down here is what I like to call the upside down ice cream fold. So exactly the same ice cream fold. We're going to fold this edge to the middle line. It looks a little different, but it's basically the same fold. You want to point right there. And then you're going to take this edge right here and fold it to the middle. The second one is a little easier because you're matching it up with the other one. There should be a line right there. It shouldn't be over it. They should meet up right there. And then you have to go over your folds. In origami, you always want to go over your folds. All right, so this is actually the back of our ghost. So let's flip it over. And you know it's the back of the ghost because it has an opening eye. And the front is nice and smooth. All right, so that is our ghost head, and this is our body. These are the shoulders right here. And let's make the tail. So you want the ghost to look like it's flying through the air maybe. So you make this little fold right at the bottom, okay? You see that? You just fold it. You can fold it to either side. And it doesn't matter really how much you want to fold it over, so it looks like it's flying through the air. And now, of course, we need to finish it off with a face. So let's put 2 eyes here. I'm just going to keep it simple and do 2 ovals. And then if you want to make a spooky mouth, instead of doing a round circle, I suggest you do a long, kind of like, almost like a jelly bean, it's not an oval and it's not a circle. It's kind of like a blob. And that will give it that little spooky look. After you make one ghost, maybe you can keep making more and try to scare people with them if you want. Or they can be friendly ghosts too. And you can do all kinds of faces on them. You don't have to do that face. And you can also make them out of different colored paper. It doesn't have to be a white ghost. It can be any color. All right, have fun with it. And most importantly, practice, practice, practice. Make more than one. Make a few so that you start to get better at your folds and you start to memorize how to do the folds. Okay? Okay, now we're going to make an origami skull. So again, you just need white paper. You can also use origami paper if you have it, but I turned my rectangular piece of white paper into a square, and now I'm going to take this square and I'm going to rotate it so it has a diamond shape. So the point is pointing towards me. And then I'm going to take this point and fold it in half right there. All right. So that's our first fold. And then I'm going to unfold it. A lot of times in origami, you do a fold just to unfold it. But now we have this center line, and we're going to work with that center line, and we're going to do an ice cream fold again. So we're going to take this line and bring it to that middle center line. And look how slow I'm going. I'm making sure I have a point right here, and I'm going really slow because I want it to go right to that center line. Now I'm going to do the other side. This side goes to the center line. And in this time, I'm going to make sure it meets up with the other one. And again, I want a point, just like an ice cream cone, how it's pointy on the end. All right. So here we have our ice cream fold. Okay, the next fold, you take the top of your ice cream and you're going to fold it down to the cone. You're going to take that tip and fold it right down to the cone. Can you see that? And then you're going to take this part and you're going to fold this up right to the top where you're going to match it right there and fold it down. And that's how you know when to stop. You go right to the top, okay? So you fold the top part down to the ice cream cone and you fold the bottom part up to the top. And then you go over your folds. Always go over your folds. The better your folds are, the better it'll come out. All right, so here we have it. Now we're going to flip it over and we're going to unfold this part. And now we're going to fold the teeth. So what we're going to do is fold it right back over the other way, right? So we folded it right back over. Before it was folded like this, and now we're going to flip it over and fold it the other way. And now we're going to fold it down a little bit. We're going to take this fold and we're going to take this and we're going to fold it just down like that, okay? So I don't know if you can see on the side. It's like a little step, and it's not even a half an inch, right there. And then we're going to do it again. And this is an area where you can be creative with it. You don't have to do it exactly how I do it. What we're doing here is we're making steps that are going to turn out to be the teeth. So then we fold it back up. See how we fold it back up? And then we're going to fold this part back down. See how we're getting that on the side? And then the last fold. All right, we got our cool teeth. Look at that. Now we need to make our eyes. Now there's different ways you can do it. First off, let's start with our teeth. I'm going to outline You see what I'm doing? I'm outlining those shapes. So again, here we see shapes again. There's triangles. So we folded that into some triangles. Let's see if we can get one last fold in. Oh yeah. See the teeth? Nice. Now we have to do some big eyes. Now how you do eyes is up to you. Some people like to do round eyes, and some people like to make skeleton eyes more boxy or square. And some people like to do a little nose like that, or a fun way to do a skeleton nose is an upside down heart. Now, if you don't know how to draw a heart, that is a good thing to work on, something to practice. I bet someone in your house could probably teach you how to draw a heart. So you see that? That's a heart, upside down heart. Makes a good skeleton nose. And one thing about when you're coloring in, I don't know if you can tell, but this has a point and then there's a wider side on this. So when I'm coloring it in, I'm using the wide side of the marker. I'm not pushing down on the point because I don't want to squish the point of my marker because that makes the marker not work as good. So these are little tricks as you get older that you can do. And I think one of my eyes is a little bit bigger than the other, but we can work on that. All right, always put your lid on your marker. Oh, what do you think? Does it look good? Yeah. All right, so we have our more traditional skull. And now, let's do a little Dia de los Muertos style skull, okay? So for Dia de los Muertos style skull, the fun thing about that is you can be as creative as you want. And I put lots of video links on how to draw sugar skulls or calaveras for Dia de los Muertos. But here I'll just show you some easy stuff. Put a little hole right in the center. I like to do little petals around the eye. Some people like to put the petals inside the eyes, like a flower in the eye. Always an upside down heart. That's what I do for a nose. All right, now the fun part. Let's color this in. All right, I got my Dia de los Muertos sugar skull or calavera on this side, and I have a more traditional skull on this side. Whatever one you choose to do, have fun with it. And the thing I love about the Dia de los Muertos skull is it's so colorful, so you cannot go wrong. One thing I would suggest though is to do symmetrical design. So if you put a blue teardrop on this side, think about maybe putting a blue teardrop on this side. Symmetrical. You don't have to do that way, but it can be fun. And just notice I'm just using very simple shapes. Heart, teardrops, circles, flower petals, lots of flower petals, half circles. And oh, maybe I should do my teeth. I didn't think. Maybe I should do rainbow teeth. What do you think? So have fun with it. Whether you go traditional Halloween skull or Dia de los Muertos skull, or maybe you're just practicing folding your origami. Whatever you do, be creative with it. And practice, practice, practice. All right, have fun. Bye.